Mutegeeza nti tulondoola ebikolwa byammwe n'engeri gye mweyisaamu. Twagala okuba wagezi obanga omulimu ogubayinze mwekubira eno eri bannayuganda balina obusungu bwebataasa ku mugogo. Omulimu oguyinza okufuuka eddimo gubataaseeko. Bakubye pulezidenti waffe ne bakuba tiyagaasa abantu baffe, ne bakuba amasasi mu bantu baffe nga mulaba mu maaso gaffe. Twalowoozeza nti mwaddemu embavu ezifaayo ne mugamba nti tukyama. Okufaanako n'olumbaganyo obwali wano ku kisebe kyaffe twabawandikira nga twemulugunya nga buli kati tebasumululanga mbaasa ennugu. Wakiri okuba essimu okugamba nti kibi nnyo oba okubaako we balabula abaakola ekyo. Twagala kubategeeza nti baguna abalema Uganda bajja kugwekulira basalewo n'abakulembera. Ekisembayo okuwa amagezi Mwami Museveni ne banno temulina busobozi bulemesa nkyuka. Enkyukakyuka eringanga lubuto bwe luba lukuze lusobola okuzaalibwa mu mbeera ya bulijjo, maama asobola okulongoosebwa naye lusobola n'okuvaamu nga terunnatuuka. So byonna mubirowoozeeko, temulina busobozi bulemesa nkyukakyuka bwekyo bwe kifaanagana. Tubawa amagezi oba muyina emmundu oba muyina tiyagaasi oba mufaanana mutya, enkyukakyuka temusobola gyerekesa. Naye musobola okwetaba mu kweky'enkyukakyuka oba okukyukira mu nkyuka.
People power! Our power! Our power! People power! NUP! Everywhere! And everywhere! NUP! Thank you very much. Thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday. We are still bashing with the celebrations. The one and only one event that has happened this century, the nomination of our president. I have delivered the number of children. Read the Bible very well. So yesterday was never happened, but we also got the baby. Very beautiful baby. Today, to continue with that celebration, we should not lose sight of it. Second, to register our resilience, which was supposed to have been crushed yesterday, because the manner in which the tear gas, the live bullet, the platoons were used was lethal. I still have the pain on my back, the ear. They also tested us, We are resilient. They also tested us. But that's not why we're here. We are here, one, to announce we are moving on and stronger. Yes. We are all heading to Barara on Friday.
Yeah.
In big numbers. Two, we are here to say this police yesterday, we actually, if we organize like today, and if we anticipated, they knew. I saw their vulnerability. They were begging, "Who, please, can you do this?" They were very disorganized. I saw, because they are there with their stomach, not with the heart. And people, I saw what it is to work with our stomach. To work with our hearts. They were working with their stomach. They started quarreling among themselves in our very eyes. I saw they are very disorganized. So let's continue to make them. I thank each one of you. Before I knew it, my leg was bleeding. Somebody just came and, "No, Mama, you are bleeding. Mama, you are bleeding." Gave a first aid and drove. That is how organized we were yesterday. And I thank that person, that team very, very much. I got 3 stitches and I'm moving on. So, I want to applaud each one of you who remained up to the evening. Our minister. I want to applaud everybody, especially my team in West Nile. You watched have concerns that the speech did not capture West Nile. The speech not only captured West Nile, but West Nile was physically present.
Everywhere.
Andrew, idudu aikoveleri. Amamu manifesto elonzi mbarara. Amamu tera vyako livele mbarara. Fudu towisi. Amamuki woro akokinga wokoja. Davuti amangata ruwa amangata moyo amangata jumani amangata paridria. Ongo aziti makini Yesu kandra bapi matipe bobayo emingata yudeya buluwa aruwa barara patazo mere amani tazo state house ya amotoke ama nisawa mavredi ametikiti tualo akukengo okoda katirani okoda retro mateke ametake aruadi lady ametaki moyo adi lady amakimu amavle president do amangazinga ibe ngoni amanga Uganda odidi ote ngoni amanga paso ngoni Uganda otokokoko dilingenda ngoni mabu West Nile yadia. Mira lucky level actually. Na wo waneno dondu wan ba Uganda manye. Apoy rubanga. Wapoy weng. Mo ayarua. Won Julius. Uringo luduka. Won Samuel Obedigiu and your team wapoy rubanga. Team nenu meneno ni ada Uganda and aloka bedu tie yen wati you kitwenwa yo lane apoy mate people power everywhere. People power everywhere. People power. NUP. Everywhere. It gives me strength, ladies and gentlemen. When I begin my condemnation of the police brutality with that song, and I want to beg Ghana SG and the rest and our president that before every activity we hold from now onwards, we should add it to our national anthem. Just as we did with the women's anthem, after the national anthem, then Ogamba Kurgawe comes next. Yeah. I want to congratulate all of us who believe in change for the nomination of our president yesterday. And I want all of us to clap to the Lord for what he did for the successful nomination, because we were scared. I personally was very, very scared because of the tactics that the government was employing. I thought that we'd never jump that hurdle. But now that we are on the other side of the Jordan, I want us to thank the Lord so much. I want to thank God for all of you, some of you who were nominated. I know it was also not easy to have woman mayor, Lord Mayor, have members of parliament in Western region, in Eastern region. It could have been easier here in Central region, but I want to thank God and congratulate all those who have been able to be nominated, whether LOC1, councillors and so on. It is also another hurdle
that NUP has done. So praise God for it. I also want to thank God for the life. My colleagues are limping. Some of you have shed blood. Yesterday when we were cramped up here, they locked us in here. There were guns, I don't know, tear gas and others who were in here who were so scared. But I want to congratulate all of us for surviving that day. We could have died, ladies and gentlemen. But now that we are here, we need to thank God to survive. I want to ask President Museveni, I know now we have members of the press before us, and I know he watches and reads the news. Please, you people, tell him he has decided to become the God of Uganda. Although he knows deep down, I know deep down in his mind, he knows that it's not right, that what he's doing is not right. But he should not waste the time, energy, and emotions of Ugandans. You cannot declare that the country is democratic, and then you start arresting, you start maiming, you start killing people. Any person you see wearing the red hair, that one is you have made an abomination, a curse on the street. Please tell him that if he doesn't want us to go into elections, that he can declare himself the right president, and then we shall know how to deal with it. Otherwise, I know the blood of many Ugandans, the tears of the Ugandans which they are shedding today, the suffering Ugandans are suffering. We will nurture our party, our NUP party, and we are going to win this election come 2021 February. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, Kwara SG, and the members for deciding to have the launch of the manifesto in Mbarara. Thank you very much. I want to invite all of you. I know we need just 70 people, but I want to invite all of you. 70 will be in the house just for the show, but there is open ground for the golf course. We shall put loudspeakers. Go to the golf course and you hear the manifesto from there. And therefore I want to invite all of you, the members of the press, the MPs, all of you and all the supporters of NUP, come and support us as we launch this manifesto. They have given it a beautiful name, and I know that from today onwards, we are going to promote a Uganda that is free of corruption, a Uganda that is full of fairness, where all people are the same. Not only where a place where resources are shared by a few individuals, but a place where all of us are Ugandans, a place that will have good hospitals, a state where our children, all our children would stop studying from under trees, and if it means all of them sharing scholarships, they all share. Please come and join us so that we can begin a new journey. I am ending with a request that you, the members of the press, inform the police, because I know they act on the orders of the people up there. But please inform them that they are our brothers and sisters. Some of those guys are even our fathers, our husbands, and so on, our brothers and sisters. Tell them that they don't live on Mars. They live in Uganda. Yes, yes, they live in Uganda, and the tears of Ugandans will one day overtake them. I thank you very much. Okay. Nyenda kubebaza mwena akeshonga t-shirt eyokubanza kureba president witu president Robert Chagulanyi Center mu AK Bobi People power NUP everywhere. I'm happy nobody can stop him from going to the top. Kino kubasa kumusibira kuzavaruka kuba yagize eki ekyakabiri ngenda ku tubebaza mwena abaramira omu Karuru aha level zona aha bw'ekibiina kyaitu ekya NUP bazakingamu baca babari aha na n'omu Western Uganda ngenda kwebaza abantu boona abashemereirwe niyo mwebazire ekyokusaasa ekinayebwa kugamba omu Rujungu n'okugira ngu our supporters in Kasese, in Barara, in Kabare, while the president and the entourage were being maimed and hurt here, they arrested some of those people in those regions. Abantu abo n'eshaleegi bakiri omu bihome ngenda kutwara obwire obutubashabire. Those of you have been in contact simu bayana bene ekyo nakyo narekyeraza ekyakashatu n'okugira ngu tugire n'amagara twarire tubiire tufiire konka mbwenu okututeera twongere amaani. People power, people power. Ekyakana n'okubeeta kugira okwigura narishi okutongoza manifesto y'ekibiina kyaitu kya NUP na n'engendererwaho ey'okuronda Kalungu Kasinga 2021 eza kukorerwa Mbarara aha Rwakataano. Nabwekyo ntwara omugisha ogu kubeeta mwena mwije abantu nshanju ab'amateeka ga Uganda mawe noshangwe endwara ya COVID nitwe orikureeba twe kandi omuri twe nobody has even died. Not even any of us is even coughing. Praise the Lord. None of us is coughing kandi bo bariye byo nebatwara ingo. Except that now the borders are closed and even they are not there. So I want to invite you ngenda kubeta wena mujemba Rwanda Rwakataano abo okugambango bakutako kosi bakutenda kabira abantu shakuzongoro aha bamateeka ga konka mwena abagenzi banyu n'abahadisitulikiti mwena ezakuza ekyenderwaho y'ekibiina kyaitu leero turi mu Uganda etarimu bwibi, Uganda etarimu kushorora, Uganda etarimu kuterwa, Uganda etarimu kushesha shagama n'ebintu kureba, Uganda etarimu kubiha abanyaruganda kubagira ngu nangwa n'obwatari nkakahatabonani obwo baheza kureeta webale munonga amabali NUP. Yes, be proud. Mutambuleke mukumanya no pate katika
People power, our power, people power. I want to commence with a tweet, and I think let me not withhold my appreciation to Honorable Ake. He has just been taking me through a tweet by none other than the first son, Jono Rugaba. In the tweet, apart from the intimidatory remarks that he has made, he has insulted and taken the battle personally. He has insulted our flag bearer, National Unity Platform, the Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu. But I want to get him informed. I know his intelligence gathering is awake. I even don't care whether we are infiltrated, because the rumor doing rounds has made it to that effect. That even his father, the sitting president, in the 80s, when he attempted to run, which he did anyway, he was despised and dismissed as a passing cloud. And actually, he was actually trounced by this current in-law in Nyamshosi. That information is awash in our history books. Now see, he has been in power even when he was despised as a passing cloud. He has been in power for the last 3 decades and more. And the Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, which is underrated, it may be for a shock, and actually that time is not very far. Second, the excesses of
the security personnel yesterday must be condemned in the strongest terms possible. And this challenge goes to the Electoral Commission. Because the brutality, the maiming that was committed by the security personnel was in the premises of the venue of nomination. And I'm sure in full care of the officials. And we are waiting to see whether, and by the way, that brutality, the maiming, the bloodshed we saw are a form of terrorism. And the Electoral Commission, we must see them ensuring that these perpetrators of terrorist acts, like those of yesterday, do not go unpunished. But if they do, because I know they are being staged, all these actions, actions are being staged behind the curtains by the powers that be. And so the perpetrators may go scot-free. We don't have a black book like the Honorable Simongere had one. But we shall not be failed by our memories. Tomorrow is not very far. Those that are committing this act of terrorism will be held culpable. And those culprits will also be paid in the currency of their wickedness. Lastly, we have been following the elections in other countries. It is not lost on me that even in the superpower America, elections are going, actually the polls are today. We have been following the campaign trail. They have also been strictly observing standard operating procedures because of the pandemic of COVID-19. But if you compare and contrast, it is only in Uganda where standard operating procedures are being skewed in favor of one of the candidates who was also recently nominated, and none other than the sitting president. We have seen elections all over. We had elections in South Korea, Malawi, here in Africa, so many countries I can mention. But the restrictions of COVID are only being used in Uganda here to nip opposition in the back. But I must salute your resilience, the people power supporters and promoters, the resilience, the solidarity that you have exhibited. Those I must salute. And pray that since you have also realized that is only a tree with fruits that will receive all manner of stones. This is just the beginning. The analogy of a newborn baby is a very good one and a spot on. Because the populace is more than ready for change. That ours is midwifery to deliver the baby. This action is of the security personnel are intended to discourage us, or rather inviting us to strangle the baby. But the baby has already shown the signs of coming out the normal way. We shall not need a cesarean section in delivering this baby. This baby is coming out normally, and the baby, ladies and gentlemen, is alive and well. May God abundantly bless you. People power. The Rumbasa. No, Basava. Mumuli, Mulafio, Muli, Mubugisu. Muli ni Jerakawe Bugisu, Muli, Mulasa. You know, Mary Anes Huliho, ye Rubiris Wabu, where President UFA, where Party and National Unity Platform. Ingorove, kama sasa yaka upile tia gas siwa kutushiroho ni nasa kama kuongera ne tule tia gas ni ubona timu ni tabese military na kodi le meni mulai olwekuba baambile Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu mu mbeera ebina bamuwambire ng'omuntu w'engo bamupulisa ku bina ekyo kiikanyala kyakoleka mu mulembe guno kwezi gulimu wa 21st century tapu ekyo benzaka mu mirembe kyakyafa kino embasabeni aluluhenyu eshalefu mbebulayi bube mmeso mukupire Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu enjire mu bunyalano mu Uganda wakira kufuna enshuhashuha linatwatwalisa linambo lyetwele Uganda bonsimbasimba mwanyala nabyo kuletera
People power. Our power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP. First and foremost, I want to add my voice on the previous speakers to congratulate all Ugandans out there, all seeking change, seeking forces of change that were able to nominate our own, the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, and we thank God for that. Most importantly, I want to also congratulate all the young people that this time we have got our own. As a generation, we have got a generational president. And it is upon us to use this opportunity. An opportunity comes once and we must use it. But also, I want to thank most especially the young people, being the youth leader in the National Unity Platform. I want to thank the young people for standing up and celebrate the nomination of our president yesterday. I thank you, thank you. You really did what we expected out of you. It was wonderful, and I think this is the time where we have to do something better than we did. And not only just to support, not just to tell us that we are supporting you, we are together, but also when such acts happen again, we are supposed to rise up in almost all the villages of the country, over the 50,000 villages, and we must not be worried about what happened. Because in such acts of brutalizing us, torturing us, beating us, that's the only way we are going to get change. So, Mr. Museveni and your security personnel sent to us, if you think that you're just going to put us down, but in such acts, we are going to get change. We are going to have a president of our own this time. And I know that so many young people out there, they are scared. But I want to let them know that the regime, the police, the military, the UPDF, the SFCs, they are more scared. And we have to take them on whether they like it or not. Yes. Yes. Just like the president told us yesterday, we crossed the book of lamentations. Now we are opening the book of acts, and we must act. Yesterday, it was just a teaser. It was just the beginning. Iranga present wa Gambia tusimbudde. So njoza yoza bana Uganda bonna naddala abasinga okwetaga enkyukakyuka twekye twatuuseko olunaku lw'eggulo. Kitu kyabadde ky'amaanyi nnyo, kyabadde kyakabi nnyo mu ggwanga lyonna. Era njagala okubazaamu amaanyi. Kimwe byonna bye mwakoze twasiimye nnyo temwatuswaziza mwavuddeyo temwatidde babadde babatiisatiisa nti teri kuwulira ku pulezidenti wammwe mwebale kuvaayo mu bitundu ebyenjawulo ne pulezidenti waffe kyatasobodde kubeera ne muvaayo ne mukola ekyo kye mwakoze ekyamaanyi era nga mbasaba okulaba nga tugenda mu maaso omulundi oguddako ffenna tuveeyo ebyalo ebisukka mu mitwalo 5 ffenna tuveeyo tuyimirire tulabe nga ebikola ng'ebyakusiddwako olunaku lw'eggulo ebiddamu kubeerawo bwe biddamu okubeerawo ffenna tuyimirire nga tuvaayo kyalo ku kyalo bano abasajja tubasinga obungi kubanga katono nnyo singa ffenna tuba tuyimuse tebasobola kutusobola tubasinga obungi era tuba tusobola okulaba nga tweddiza obuyinza mwenna abatuusiddwako ebisago mulaba byonna nabazze babituusaako okugenda ku bakulembeze ne pulezidenti waffe bamutuusizzaako ebyo tebiina kutukanga tebiina kututiisa kuba mu bikolwa ng'ebyo tugenda okufuna enkyukakyuka bwe tugenda okulaba nga tujjako omusajja oyo ayinza okuba nga yeewaana neyeewaana nti akubye zaake akubye pulezidenti waffe akubye abakulembeze bonna akubye bannayuganda bonna neyeewaana nti yakikoze alina okukimanya nti ate ffe tuba tuwangudde kuba mu bikolwa ng'ebyo singa agenda mu maaso nabyo bannayuganda beeyongera kuba nallo beeyongera kuba na mutima era yensonga lwaki nze zaake buli wayongera okunkuba neyongera kukambuwana kumulagako nti nja kumutwala abali eyo mweyongera kukambuwala mwami Museveni wabatalabangako bannayuganda we bakambuwala ku mulundi guno obusungu bagenda babuweza babugattako era nze nakuwoni nze nga nkutegeeza tegezaako obikole naye nga badde nkugamba njagala obikole njagala oddemu otukubire ddala kuba mu bikolwa nge byagala okuba ng'okola byebigenda okutuleetera enkyukakyuka kubanga golooza nti tubitya nnyo kyova olaba bannayuganda olwaleero eggulo yatukubye naye n'olwaleero bwe tuvaayo wano era bannayuganda bagenda kuddamu bakole ki baveeyo kubanga kano akalu ke tulimu sikakunuuna ice cream nedda tetuli mu kusaagamu tuli mu bintu bya ddala bino bye tulimu tweka tumutegeeze nti tulina okulaba nga tukampeyininga nga tufuna essanyu kubanga kino kyetufunye tetukifunangako tekibanga nawo tekituukanga nawo era tumanyi bulungi nnyo tugenda kulabira ddala nga tukikola era bannayuganda bagenda kulaba ddala nga beddiza obuyinza bwabwe nga bwe kiteekeddwa okubeera mbasaba mwenna abali eyo mukimanye nti olwokutaano tusimbula tugenda Mbalala era nga abawandiisi baffe babagambye ffe tugenda kubeera amateeka agamu tugenda genda enamba gye mwagala era tugenda kusimbula tugende nga abantu ensanvu bemwakoze ki bwe mwagambye era tutuukeyo n'Embalala nakyo tukikube tulabe nga abantu baffe bategeera nti NUP eri buli wamu nti eri everywhere mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala people power our power people power
basebo ne banyamu bakama bange mu kibiina nga mutima ffenna tulowooza ku pulezidenti waffe agenda okuwangula aleeta essanyu mu Uganda tulidde wano ng'okubuuza omukyalo wa Kampala okuvumirira okufuula Kampala barracks ya NRA Kampala kati n'emiriraano barracks zonna kati baziggyeyo zonna ziri wano bannakampala tebeewandiisangako kubeera bajaasi si bapoliisi ate nga nabo batemba okubeera nga bali mu Uganda eyaabo ekikolwa ekyokuba nti buli bwe tubeera mu kalulu bannakampala babanga abagenda mu lutalo olw'emmundu bannayuganda tawuni zonna babanga bagenda mu lutalo olw'emmundu Sendowooza kuno kufuuse muzannyo. Electoral Commission nayo kwenyenyumirizaamu. Presidential candidates. Era tusaba mwami Byabakama omanyi Kikulu bwe yavaawo ndowooza ye mwami Byabakama alowooza ali lutimbe tewali amulaba. Bannayuganda mulekere abo okubeera nga waliwo be mutiitiirya. Kigundu wano buli muntu yali amusongamu. Byabakama abadde ki? Lwaki temumusongamu? Avaayo ndowooza agenda mu butale, agenda wa tewali n'amanyi nti mwetegereze bannamawulire ekifaananyi kya Byabakama mukisembeze ku ntimbe. Kubanga omuntu bw'amanya nti alina obuvunaanyizibwa avaayoko n'agamba kino tekijja kukolebwa nga nze ndi mu ntebe, nga nze ssentebe w'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda. Ekirala njagala kumaliriza nga ngamba abakyala. Kampala ndikulembedde emyaka ebisanja 3 ate nga kati njagala kukwatamu nkasi. Bino mbyogera nga ngamba bannakampala mufeeyo fferiiso ly'eggwanga. Tetutya kubanga bannaffe bonna mu Uganda batutunuulidde. Bwe tutya ne tudduka abakyala mwe bakazaala bani Robert Kyagulanyi mwana waffe tukitwale ffenna ng'abakyala. Bwe baba mutulugunya jjukira omwana w'omulenzi oyo eyeeraba mu Kyagulanyi kyawulira. Abakyala tunywere ku nsonga y'okwenyigira mu nkyukakyuka. And I want to reiterate in English, this is a season for everybody. It's not just for the youth, it's also for the women. As a woman MP for Kampala, I condemn and come out in strong terms to ask the Electoral Commission to do its work, not to think that our eyes are closed as brutality and assault is being meted out on our presidential candidate, Robert Kyagulanyi, in the glaring eye of the media, of the public, without any mention by the Electoral Commission. Mr. Byabakama feels he is invisible. And I feel that Ugandans have given him that cover. I want to ask the media to bring the picture of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission so that he feels he's answerable and accountable to the people of Uganda. His predecessor, Kigulu, lamented that the actions of the Electoral Commission were personalized on him as an individual. Why are we treating Mr. Byabakama differently? I think we need to call on him to know that he's in charge, and these candidates who are nominated, especially the presidential candidates, are his, their security is squarely on his shoulders. Anything happens to our president, I think the court cases should not only be going to the regime, but even individuals in such institutions held accountable. Thank you so much. Let's stand firm. People power. Our power. Our power. People power. United.
We're just going to conclude with the Honorable President Moses.
The media is okay with me.
kubanga biridde nze nanyiganga atasobola naye kiva kuba natemulwa ate ekiseera ekimu okuba kw'amaanyi especially when there is holiness or holiness. I want first of all to take this opportunity to thank the Secretary General for organizing this press conference and allowing me for the first time to address the press from the NUP headquarters. We are so grateful for the people who over 3 years worked towards bringing Uganda together for change. And I'm here to do one little thing. It's a very little thing, but it's a very important assignment. It must be recalled and appreciated that Ugandans, and I'm talking about the rightful members of society, all of us, led by the principles of different change political organizations, have an obligation to serve, to liberate Mr. Yoweri Tumuhabura Museveni from the people who are holding him captive. Unfortunately, Mr. Museveni is the first son who holds Kainerugaba. I've been making a research to get his Christian name. Maybe you, ladies and gentlemen from the press, know it and will be able to give it to me. What I'm trying to say is that Mr. Museveni's family, especially his son, and I hear at times his wife, are part of the group that is holding Mr. Museveni captive and imposing him on Ugandans just because they don't want to end the opportunity they have to take over the resources of this country. I'm talking about the general. The general was General Tumwini. All of them generals, you know them. Those people are part of the group which is holding Museveni captive. I'm talking about political entrepreneurs who serve the mafia groups, running the agencies on their behalf. People like Ekalangwa in Bukelele, and many others, most of you know by names. I'm talking about people, mafias, who would have been in Lucida by now, but they're out of prison just because they continue to impose Mr. Museveni on us Ugandans. I want to tell fellow activists that it is our role, it's our duty and obligation to disempower this group of people who are holding Museveni captive, liberate Museveni and retire him, and take over our country. Our country will need transition from a dictatorship to a democracy. Some of these people will be jailed, but most of them will benefit from our kind opportunity to take Ugandans through reconciliation and healing.
a tweet on the social media account in the name of Mr. Gava was warning, promising havoc, intimidating, and threatening the NUP principal, Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also the people's presidential candidate, promising him, threatening him, intimidating him, that he was claiming to have capacity to crush Obi and make all of us. First of all, when I saw those tweets, I gave Muoz the benefit of doubt. You see, he has grown up surrounded by friends. He has been taken to the best schools in the world. He's an LOTU who got decorated with it. Amen. We know him. He was recruited as an LOTU in the table. Sometime back, the LOTUs were abolished. I don't know where he kept himself during that video. We have heard also, you see this gentleman was such a very unlucky boy. You can't imagine having your father blessing you to guard him. In essence, having a father who says that if you want to hurt me, you will first hurt my son. That's not kind of any parent. So he was Seven's bodyguard, and we don't know under what circumstances he was making free with his officer. We also hear rumors, and we don't want to believe with them, that one of these problems might be drunkenness. But we don't want to believe that. We also understand that the general of Moses Kalipa is now the advisor to another general called Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. What it's quite very absurd. If any one of us is blessed under responsibility to advise your parents, and you are not advising your father to run your family, but you are advising him to run the country. Mr. Moses, we are also aware that Mr. Museveni, like all human beings, is deteriorating both physically and mentally. It's natural. Can't blame anybody for that. At our home in Kwachiso, Namusela there, my father always waits for me to advise him on what to do for the family. But a family is different from a country. The country has advisors who are paid, but Mr. Museveni is not utilizing them. So Mr. Moses, in that capacity, abusing Ugandans and taking us for granted, that he starts tweeting, exposing his delinquency, threatening the Ugandans, not any other ordinary Ugandan like Numbers, but a people's candidate, presidential candidate, who is going to run the office. The laws and friends are trying to impose on Mr. Museveni. They fear what might happen to them after Museveni is the president. That is why they are imposing him on this country. They fear to face the law. They fear to face competition. They fear to lose riches. They fear to hand back power to Ugandans and account for the 35 years Mr. Museveni has been in the country. One, I talked to Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi, and he told me that if Muhozi thinks that when he makes those careless, wisdomless tweets, that Honorable Chagulanyi will be intimidated, sends him information that he is not intimidated. Mr. Mosi, I want to assure you, you will be one of those Ugandans who will be pardoned. We shall allow you to say sorry to Ugandans. We appreciate that you have been young just yesterday and you were exploited by a father who doesn't care about anybody, including his own children. A man who has failed to win off his children. You see, even cooks are better at that. We don't fear to face Mr. Muhozi as a competitor. We don't. We also acknowledge that he has a right, like all of us Ugandans, to stand for office. We don't know even why he keeps on posing as if he's an army man, when the fact of the matter is that he's not. He's a melody. He was recruited when some of us were old enough, first of all, to get to know what was taking place. And like a brother Nambesh has told you, that we don't have the black book today, but we believe that we can only be betrayed by our own memory. You are an LOD, you was. We know that the city free, with the deception, you have been decollated a UPDF general. You will lose those titles as soon as we take office. Yes. And we shall recommend you and press you under rehabilitation, you together with other people. See, in Uganda we have some people who post around as lords. When they are moving around, you can mistake them for being there. We appreciate that Mr. 7 is no more. We have another example of what happened in Malawi. In Malawi, a president lost his mental abilities. But he had a secretary, Mama Kazamira, who would get out, change the government, appoint, disappoint people. It was after Kamusu Banda was taken out of power that the country got to know that Banange, you know what? All along we have been dealing with Mama Kasamila. The president has no mental capacity to keep in that office. I'm not saying that Mr. Museveni has consolidated that relationship, but I believe he's on the way. I said this with great knowledge. But Mr. Museveni is as old as my father. And let me tell you, my father was a very clever man. But these days, at times I get telephone calls in the phone numbers, so my father at times refuses to take his medicine. He refers most of the very important decisions to me. Equally, Mr. Museveni is going through the same. You see, but for me, my father and I are doing this to our one family. But imagine a person who does not want to take medicine anymore being your president. is that period when we live the opposite of our true self. What we are when we are still young. That period comes to every person who grows old. There are people like me who doesn't fear to say that I'm 51 years just because I have accountability for every year I've lived. But Mr. Museveni cannot get out to tell his exact age because he does not have accountability for some of the years he has lived. But for us who know, especially we women, we have the capacity to look at somebody's nose, eyes, and then tell how old you are. And then you're 26. You are 26 years. I'm talking as a mother. In the same, using the same expertise. I know for sure, and many Ugandans know that Mr. Museveni is 80 years. So, winding up, I'm here. Tell Mr. Moses that first of all, we who know him as a person who has grown up surrounded by friends, who has gone to the best schools, we didn't believe that he's one man who can be so unwise, so unsophisticated to make such careless tweets. I feel so sorry that a young man in whom Ugandans have invested a lot can turn out with such an imbalanced mental straight as what they. This was his it's beyond that. Because you can do better. Because you are capable of doing better. If you are an army man, that you turn from the LODU to the army, keep quiet like what other army men should. If you want to be a politician like us, retire from the army, get out of your father's custody and behave like a grown-up man of 50 years. Because you are 50. You want to Ruange, some member Karina to put on Nacha, NUP, and you will know a dollar young lady. One at the same time enough about what you ayambako mwami Vice President wa Buganda okutwala ziri districts eziri mu Kisani Buganda Mukono Kayunga Buyikwe and Buvuma okutumira mwanyinaze gwensingako omwaka gumu gwokka mu nsi muno Mwozi ebyataano mu gumu yalyataano okumugamba nti akomye mangu okweteeka mu butaala n'agenda n'akemebwa okubaawo kwa social media n'atandika okuweereza obubaka obutiisatiisa obuvoola era obulengeza bannayuganda omu kubo Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu akikomye. Tumanyi Muhoozi ng'owero DU waffe eyalondebwa abeero C1 Entebbe agenda asoma obwero tiyu asobole okuddayo okuuma ekyalo. Era oyo obwero tiyu waffe tulina ennaku nnyingi kyekifo ky'okumutendeka ne tumuddizayo bakama be Yamanuel Siwa ne Secretary for Defense ab'entebe wali ewaabwe mu Kitoolo. Mwami Museveni yayita mu mugenzi Gaddafi najja mutikkira obwa mmeeja. Ekyo kikolwa kyali kyakusala nsawo. Teriyo Owelo Tiyu mulala gwe twali tuwulidde ng'afuuse jjeno w'amagye. Okolaba ng'ekimu ku bintu bye tujja okukola nga twakatwala obuyinza kwe kuwonya Muhoozi tumuggyeko ebyo ebitiibwa ebya genero bye bamukakaatikako. Twagala era kusaba mwami Museveni ayiga okuggya abaana be ku mabeere. Abaana bwe bakula baba bakuze. Mwami Muhoozi musajja mukulu ddala. Singa yayanguwa okuzaala nga kyakulayo. Naye kati alina omwana ali okujja okukwasa. Kati tumugamba ebintu ebyo byalimu abifere kaddamu okuweereza obubaka taddamu kukemebwa sosonkereza bannayuganda alina ebyokulabirako ebimala amanyi baganda be abaana ba Gaddafi gye bayita amanyi baganda be abaana ba Saddam Hussein gye bayita amanyi baganda be kapiteeni Kongolo omwana wa Mobutu bamuziika ayimiridde nono oli kitawe yamukomya ku bwa kapiteeni naye n'atandika okulowooza nti naye pulezidenti mu bwangu ddala bannayuganda bonna abagala enkyukakyuka ne ba activist ffenna tulina okukolera awamu tununule mwami Museveni okuva mu mikono gy'abantu abamuwani. Abantu abo mulimu bamafiya, mulimu abalwaninga bizinesi z'abamafiya. Waliwo omusajja omu gwe nabadde nsomako nga nfuna obujulizi simanyi bamuyitamu Muhammad Alibai ng'alina ebyapa by'ettaka 7 mu Kampala. Kati omuntu alina ebyapa by'ettaka 700 mu Kampala tayagala Museveni aveeko kuba amanyi bannayuganda abaddeko bagenda mugamba ettaka lino walijjawo. Abo abantu abasibye mwami Museveni mu buyinza abamukozesa okunyagulula eggwanga lyaffe mwami Museveni wamma totya tujja okukununula mikono gy'abakuwa. Twagala pulezidenti Museveni agenda awummuleko lwakitula tuteeseteese okussawo akakiiko k'okutabagana n'okwogera amazima eri bannayuganda era nga tumanyi nti abantu abali mu famire ya mwami Museveni abantu abamu abafunye obugaga mu bambuyinza akakiiko ako tebajja okweyamba okwetondera bannayuganda n'obusonyizibwa. Nolwekyo twagala batuwedde emmere ekisembayo Muhoozi oli musajja ate toli w'amagye oli wero oli wa ddembe olina eddembe ly'obuzaaliranwa ddembe lyo okuvaayo ne weesimbawo ku kifo kyonna mu ggwanga nga otwaliddemu n'ekyakitaawo kyalemeddemu ekyo bwa pulezidenti. Era ffe tetugenda kunyiiga wadde okutya okubeera mu kalulu konna nga mwami Muhoozi oba asimbiddwawo NRM ng'asaba obwa pulezidenti bwaki tumulinze mu butuufu. Olwaleero mbadde njogeramu ne Honorable Kyagulanyi n'agamba nti yeesunga okulaba ku mazima agasaanye ng'avuganya ne mwami Muhoozi nga Muhoozi asaba bwa pulezidenti nga ne Kyagulanyi asaba bwaki bwa pulezidenti. Naye ebyo ebyokulowooza nti ojja kwesiba ku kirenge kya kitaawo atoddeeyo gye weesibidde ku kirenge kya kitaawo emmanju ku police quarter ku State House ate otandike okutinkuula entalo ku bannayuganda n'okuba olwogolo ekyo tetujja kukikkiriza Muhoozi. ategeeza bannayuganda nti akalulu ko tekaliyo kali folosi. Mr. Byabakama is organizing a follow election. But we are going to show him that we have capacity to turn a follow election into a liberation coup.
Yes.
And do exactly the same thing to DC chair.
People power, our power. Thank you so much, Honorable Betty Namboze. I think I don't have anything useful to add to that, except to now invite Comrade Derek, who's going to give us a closure.